By this point, I should have known something was wrong, but the tournament area was so impressive that any suspicions I had were completely wiped from my mind. There were several dozen TV sets scattered about the room, each with a PlayStation and a comfortable-looking couch in front of them. Next to each couch was a large side table piled high with bags of chips and juice boxes. A huge banner hung on the ceiling read, Lum-O-Lution! Cardboard standees of Rayman, Glowbox, the Tensies, and other game characters stood in random arrangement around the room. At the end of the hall was a giant inflatable of Golem Polacus.
A giant inflatable Golem.
I'd like to point out the superfluous use of there. I mean, it's not a great point, but it's all I've got for that.
It's good to see a giant inflatable Winston Churchill hanging about in golem form. He mega evolved.
I sincerely apologize for suggesting this story. And more intriguingly, a small temporary room placed right between Polacus' short legs. The tournament judges appeared to be doing all they could to keep the noisier, I don't know if that's
noisier.
Noisier contestants away from the room.
Welcome to the Lum Collecting Tournament!
Holy shit!
A chipper, young-sounding voice called over the convention center's PA.
I am Renard Manning, and I'll be your host this morning.
I see what they did there. Reynard Manning. That's almost like Rayman. Fantastic!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! 360 no score!
If everyone could just gather in front of Polacus for a few minutes, we can get started earlier.
Reynard Manning was a scrawny-looking, pale young man with long, neatly combed, light brown hair.
He also had no arms or legs.
It was really distracting.
As he raised his arms to get the contestants to quiet down, his puffy, dark purple overcoat looked much too big for him.
Guten Morgen all.
Reynald chirped into his microphone.
I think everyone's been accounted for at this point here. So in just a few minutes, you'll all be collecting lums and competing for the championship title.
I punched my fist in the air and screamed with the others, completely unaware of what I was really getting into.
As you can see,
continued Reynard,
there are 55 gaming stations set up around this room. Each PlayStation is equipped with a special version of Rayman 4, created just for this tournament. You all get 1 hour to practice and prepare yourselves. When you hear this sound,
a loud buzzing noise suddenly played over the PA, causing everyone in the room except for Reynard to cover their ears.
The tournament will officially begin! There are about 300 of you here today, so you'll be grouped 6 or 7 to a station. I don't want any arguments and absolutely no fighting. You will want to save your energy for collecting lums.
Reynard winked.
The judges will keep an eye on things and make sure they are fair.
He motioned to the four short men standing next to him, all of which nodded slowly and stoically. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, it's a word.
Now get out there and start collecting!
Reynard Manning blew an air horn, and the room seemed to explode as everyone in it dashed to a gaming console.
They all died!
I found myself on an old green and yellow couch with 2 guys I knew from school. A college-aged girl was taking a semester off at her uncle's place, and 2 twin boys who couldn't have been older than 10 years old. After a bit of arguing, basically the twins thought that it wasn't fair to play against adults, and that they should get to practice for the whole hour. we all began taking turns on the tournament version of Lum-O-Lotion.
The first thing I noticed is that the graphics in the tournament version were much better than the ones in the home version. So this is the one on the Xbox One or something, clearly the superior version.
If it was on the Xbox One, it wouldn't have looked better than the PlayStation One.
Yeah, no, fuck you. They look like they belonged in a CGI movie. Perhaps that Transformers movie I've been hearing so much about.
Fuck that, you know what they need to be in?
Food fight.
Not a 2005 video game. Everyone marvelled at the visually improved Rayman bouncing across the screens and cringed at the horrified faces of the lums, which are now painfully detailed, their eyes misty with fearful tears. Who wants to be Derek?
Dennis,
Derek
your name
Green.
sounds like Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game's kind of stupid.
Derek, one of the guys from school, commented.
The lumps are supposed to turn evil if you scare them. I don't get why they don't just turn evil and fight back.
That's only the red lumps, stupid.
I don't think so.
One of the twins yelled.
Those ones are yellow.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Who the fuck is the college girl?
I mean, we know it's you, Toby.
Alright. He's right! Fucking hell. Oh! Cut in the college girl. It was the red lambs, not the yellow ones. I had no idea what they were talking about. Neither do I.
Whatever.
Derek sighed.
Just pass me the controller.
The hours seemed to be over much too soon. And the tournament
So
began.
it can't be said for here.
Yeah. Fucking 58 minutes, you're right. The four judges walked to an individual group as they all moved as if they were a single four-headed being to explain the rules.
Because those are common.
Who wants to be judge one?
I don't.
Alright.
It's
It's an elimination round.
an elimination round.
One judge began. Dennis, want to do next one?
Only one of you will be the victor.
Another one explained. Whoever wins is to wait at the bottom of the Polycus for the second round to begin. A third went on.
And no cheating!
The fourth added.
Bitches!
Bitches. With that, they left us to explain the rules to the next couch over. And our group began to play. Two-player mode put both players in the same level at the same time. Whoa, too edgy for me. As Rayman and Glowbox. Players collected as many lumps as possible. The person with the most lumps winning the round. Shouldn't it be won the round?
Have we got to the scary part yet?
I don't know. I was secretly pleased to find out the others in my group didn't know much about playing Rayman as I did. Derek was out first, followed by one of the twins, then the other guy from high school, can't remember his name in brackets anymore, then the other twin. Finally, it was down to the college girl and me. You're not gonna cry if I lose, are you? She smirked. No, because I'm a fully grown man, and, fuck off.
Nope, I'm not gonna lose.
No, I replied, giving her an equally cocky smile. Or just your cock.
Just giving her an equally cock.
In a sense.
Turns out she was actually a man.
We both entered two-player mode and went for every run within our reach. At first, she had no trouble keeping up with me, which surprised me, since she seemed to win every other round by the skin of her teeth. I decided it was time to turn my game up a notch. Come on, step it up!
So he's going to do what professional, like fighting games do. Start insulting her and, being incredibly sexist. I start calling her a bitch and a slut, to put off her game. Just like professionals.
Turned the game up a notch and began purposely scouting out all the lumps that were more well hidden. Soon she began to make frustrated grunts and groans as I added the lums she had missing to my collection. Finally, after I was 25 lumps ahead of her, she threw her controller down and yelled, "Fine, okay, you win! Jeez!" As if the magic word had been uttered, I felt a hand on my shoulder. I jumped and turned around to see it was one of the judges.
Well, it looks like you will be competing in the next part of the tournament, won't you?
He smiled gently at me. I couldn't help but hear a note of sadness in his soft words. But I was caught in the excitement of the moment. I didn't care about what was going on in the judge's weird mind. I'd won the first round. I was going to have a chance of winning the whole thing. Oh, yeah.
After a brief chips and soda break, the 54 other winners walked to the giant Polycus inflatable for leg 2 of the lum collecting tournament. The losers were told that they could leave whenever they wanted to,
We could go into the wood chipper.
but they were free to stick around and watch the rest of the competition. While we had been playing Rayman 4, 55 plastic folding chairs had been set up in front of a small boxy room, one for each of the round 1 winners. Oh, why is Reynard back? Can someone else do Reynard now?
Oh, take a seat.
For some reason, he's completely changed his accent. Take a seat.
Round 2 is gonna start. To be equal, quite a bit different from the round 1.
So round 2. Are you ready for round 2?
Why does he sound like Yosemite Sam?
I was trying to go for Uncle Ruckus, but the only way I could
Oh, take a seat.
You see.
Reynard grinned, pulling out a flashlight from
Flashlight.
his coat pocket and shining it on his face as if he were about to tell a ghost story.
Only the best lump collectors will make it into the third and final round. The others will have to be ... eliminated.
Ooh.
Manning's words were met with equal parts gasps and groans from the remaining gamers. I wriggled impatiently in my seat.
However...
Reynard raised one of his chubby fingers.
Wait, was he fat as well?
Apparently, everyone's fucking fat.
In this round, it'll be just against the game.
He stepped to one side and motioned to the temporary room behind him.
This round will be held in private in Poker's judging room. Can't remember what was it, Pollock's? Yeah, Pollock's judging room.
Polyps, fuck it, that's what he's called.
He's a polyp. He's a flying polyp. He's an abomination. If you don't pass the test,
The smile on his face suddenly seemed to waver for just a moment.
then you will not make it to the next round.
If you do not pass the test, you're gonna have a bad time.
Would the winner of group number 1 step
My
up
voice has changed.
to Polycus's judging room, please?
My boy, didn't.
One of the judges, standing by himself this time, called. A timid-looking girl, this one even younger than the twins, stood up from her chair and walked over to the boxy room, where the door was opened by yet another of the look-alike judges.
Right this way, please.
The 5th judge half muttered.
Am I the girl?
This way, Dad.
I'm scared.
The girl squeaked. The 5th judge took her hand and patted her on the back warmly and led her to the room. Led her into the room. A stiff silence filled the air. Would she make it? Several minutes later, a piercing scream,
Right.
that's not an expression, rang through the air, followed by a rather grum-looking little girl leaving Polycus's judging room. I'm so sorry that you lost. I mean, I'm so sorry. The 5th judge stammered. Have a nice day. I'm so sorry. The little girl was silent as she walked slowly back to the seat and folded her arms angrily.
Not the winner of the group number 2! Please step up to Polycus's judging room.
This is the voice of the Mr.
Most of the contestants afterwards followed the same routine as the first. A total silence from the room, then a scream then in parentheses, of frustration, question mark? I assumed that it was, and finally, the contestant leaving the room looking completely upset after apparently losing. Every so often, though, someone would defeat the challenge, whatever it was, and leave the room looking utterly ecstatic they were advancing to the next round. Would the winner of group number 28 step up to Polycus' judging room, please? 28, that was my group number. It was my turn. My turn to see exactly what was so frustrating behind the closed door. I stood up from my plastic chair and began to nervously walk towards the judging room. The giant inflatable Polycus was quite scary up close, his head tilted slightly downward, as if he were watching the contestants enter the room. Step in. Step it up. Step in. Quickly now. There are many others, muttered the judge outside the room. Yes, no time to waste. Step in quickly now, please. The judge inside the door continued in the same strange tone. I entered the room and the door was shut behind me.
Inside the room was a single TV system, a PlayStation, and one of the rocking gaming chairs that you see around Christmas time. I'm just trying to say this as fast as possible so we can get on with this fucking crap.
Tell me about it.
You can start collecting little Lumas when you're ready.
The judge told me.
All you have to do is complete one level.
Just one. I sat down in the chair, picked up controller, which was slippery with sweat from the other contestants,
Gross.
and looked at the screen. It was all slippery, and everyone was
Everyone was
gross.
licking it. Blah!
People were slipping and they were all grossed out.
I breathed as the game began. Just as in my copy of the game at home, Rayman's face filled the screen, his fearful eyes darting from left to right, but the graphics on this version of Rayman 4 were even better than the tournament version I had just been playing moments before.
The Unreal Tournament version.
Whoa. Rayman's model was so detailed that he looked positively realistic now. Would you say in a hyper way? Tiny beds of sweat dripped down his snout. As he backed away, his chest heaved in and out as if he had been running for a very long time. Lum O Lotion Tournament Round 2, read the title on screen. Press any button to play. My fingers gripped...
Apart from the suicide button. Oh, damn it.
Oh, God.
My fingers gripped the controller handles and as my thumb mashed the X button.
Who can hold a controller by the handles?
Collect 500 lums in 4 minutes, then return to this spot, read the mission screen. I whistled audibly. 500 lums. I didn't think there was a single level in the regular version of the game with 500 lums, but this was a special version of the game for the tournament, so I assumed that whatever level I was playing would be ripe with lums. Rayman appeared on screen and immediately I sensed something was wrong. No matter which button I pressed, Rayman didn't seem to want to move. Actually, he did start to move. He began to quake, muttering, Okay, please, don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this.
You are a video game. I am going to make you do this. I am your master and commander. Now do as I say and walk right.
A slave obeys. And then you beat Rayman with your...
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
A Rayman chooses.
I frowned. What kind of game was this? Was there a bug in the system? I turned around to look at the judge. I raised my eyebrows.
Keep playing.
Keep playing.
The judge ordered as if nothing was wrong. I shrugged and tried pressing circle, which usually made Rayman jump. This time, Rayman sat on the ground and curled up in a fetal position. Oh my god, this is so fucking scary.
Rayman 4 PTSD edition.
He's having now flashbacks.
Polycus, I don't want to do this, he sobbed. I can't do this anymore. There's not enough lumps left. A wave of nausea, however the fuck you pronounce that
That was right,
word. Oh, that's great, because once in an earlier video of mine, someone made fun of me for saying that wrong, so yeah.
Oh.
Swept over my stomach.
Especially.
Yeah. Maybe it was the ultra-realistic graphics, the hyper-realistic graphics.
I'm glad it was ultra-realistic. I'll take that any time over hyper-realistic.
Yeah, it's ultra or
really, because I'd rather just take a good story that's written.
Well, yeah, that is true. But
yeah.
You can actually change the graphics to ultra, not hyper.
Yeah, I mean, which is actually higher, hyper or ultra?
I don't know. Maybe we should make them fight like people make creepypastas fight.
We'll have ultra
Hyper-realistic versus ultra-realistic.
in a rap battle.
Who would win?
You'll decide.
Hyper-realistic roasted! Again!
Just shut the fuck up and let the story be
Shut the
finished.
fuck up! Yeah, go on.
He's gonna go lie down now.
But I suddenly felt like Rayman's time had run out for real, and no extra lives could save him this time.
Why?
Should I be Polycus again?
Yeah.
But I need lambs!
I'm loving this!
It's
The
so
voice of-
stupid!
The voice of Polycus boomed as his giant frog-like foot appeared on the screen once again. I choked. The rocky texture of the gigantic golem Polycus looked almost too real to be a PlayStation graphic.
Oh, come on!
If you do not bring me my lambs,
Is this the emotion you humans call love?
then I will extract them from you. Polycus cackled with glee.
I know this is probably supposed to be where it's scary, but imagine if it was actually scary. But I mean, it's not. But imagine, try and imagine. But
It's in an
all
alternative
the
universe.
lumps That's a scary word. I'm going to rip the lum right out of you, Toby.
Polygus cackled with glee and grabbed Rayman with a giant webbed hand.
There you go.
No, please, gasped Rayman, struggling to break free from the mighty god's grip. I can find you more lumps. I can appease your hunger. Just give me more time. I just need a little more time.
Oh my
Ah!
God.
Polygus sighed contently again.
Is Rayman usually this much of a bitch in his stories?
Apparently so.
No. Then gently placed Rayman on the ground. Thank you! Rayman! Glowbox's whiny voice hissed as his head appeared in the bushes. What are you doing? You can't keep stalling. He'll eat everything.
Is he the moon?
Apparently. A sad, serious look crossed Rayman's face. My heart began to pound. I'd never seen Rayman make such a somber face. Lumps are energy, right? Rayman asked Glowbox. The big blue frog nodded. Right. Well, we're not the only world with energy, Rayman explained. Then he turned to face me.
What? Oh my god! It's a fucking Sailor Moon plot!
They're breaking the fourth wall, guys!
Fucking Rayman turned to face me, and then I became skeleton and wrote this.
Every world has energy. Rayman's tone grew dark. And with energy, there are lumps. Okay, so who wants to be the voice behind this person?
Okay. I'm so sorry.
A voice whispered from behind me. I turned to discover the judge, dabbing at his eyes with a handkerchief.
Are you fucking for real?
Yo!
Oh my
I
god!
think that, let's see, Pollock is like an evil overlord of another dimension, and he's sent his 7 judges.
I was certain I heard him wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
He repeated quietly. For what? I asked. Though it didn't take me long to find out. The judge pushed my rocking chair from behind, launching me towards the TV. I screamed as I crashed against the screen. No, it was too squishy to be the screen.
What?
And it smelled like a mixture of foot funk
What
and
the
murky
fuck?
swamp
It's
water.
Funk.
You can't escape the funk. I looked up to see, to my horror, that my face was pressed against Glowbox's chest. Oh, this is a fan fiction now.
I'm really sorry. We have to do this.
There's
Or
the
read
slash.
this.
He squeaked as he grabbed my arms and held them behind my back.
He bent me over a barrel.
I'm really, really sorry. Honest. Do you reckon this guy is apologising so much because you know you've got this far in a story and you know it's not going to pay off?
I'm sorry.
And it's just like,
I'm so sorry, reader.
I'm sorry. I thought at the beginning of this there was going to be a point of this all, but it turns out, no. I can't write an ending. I'm like that guy from The Lost. Lost. The Lost.
Yeah, so now it's inside the video game. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I could feel ropes being tied around my wrist.
Kinky.
But Ray still needs me. Glowbox nervously took a swig of plum juice from a large beer mug.
Fucking
So-
what?
And here I was hoping you'd lose.
The frog-like fellow drunkenly continued as he tied my feet together.
You seem so energetic. You seem so unenergetic in line.
He made the knot tighter, cutting off the circulation to my feet.
But lumps are energy and Polkus wants the best of them. We have to do what we have to do and fucking...
Where are we anyway?
At first his words seemed jumbled and confused to me. Then the meaning hit me.
You're the ticket taker!
Ridge Racer!
Red Racer!
Jacob, stop being a bitch and come help us.
Don't reach the other levels. Wait, I breathed in.
Fuck off.
Stop being a pansy.
Glowbox nodded sadly as 3 tensees emerged from the bushes carrying a gigantic glass jug of steaming golden liquid. Oh, this is blood whistle all over again.
God. It's definitely his piss.
Oh, Jacob, stop being a pansy.
Come back at the end.
Oh, you bitch!
We're sorry we have to do this.
One of them began.
3DS.
It's really not our fault.
The second explained.
Rayman's idea are a bit poorly planned, you see.
Is that William Shatner?
Yeah.
It's like Christopher Walken.
It's a fusion of both of them. William Walken.
The third one finished. Wait, you're the... My words were... Oh, this is like... Wow, I forgot. My words were drowned
This is
as
like,
all...
this pasta's gone on for so long, we've just all lost the concept of thinking.
Well,
or
yeah.
words.
Well, we
Pretty
can still
much.
think. We just bottled out and laying on the couch like a big.
Kind of like when
baby.
I read fucking Sonic.exe 2, I just gave up.
Yeah.
My words were drowned as all three tenses heaved the jug forward, dousing me in the yellow liquid it carried. I sneezed and sputtered as as the hot golden stuff covered me.
Oh my
Dang, it's
God.
terrible.
Oh my
Oh.
fucking shit.
Oh my god, oh, this is, oh. I wanted to yell, oh how I wanted to scream and holler and tell those tenses to untie me this instant. But I couldn't. As the liquid dried, it had become sticky.
Oh God, not just piss.
So sticky that my mouth was quite literally glued shut. So I could only watch in horror at what happened to me next. My arms and legs began to move uncontrollably. First a slight tremor, then suddenly then suddenly in enormous wobbles, until they finally deflated like toy balloons, leaving me with long, stringy, noodly limbs.
I was fucking joking about the wacky wavering inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Then a violent compressing sensation on my head, as if some giant monster was forcing me to crouch downward as far as I could go. I scrunched my eyes shut. I didn't want to see any more of this, but I could still feel the unpleasant swelling of my stomach. It was the kind of feeling you get after you've had too much soda, only much more intense. Too intense for me. The next part is a little hard to describe, but I'm gonna try it anyway. How the fuck are you writing this? How are you writing this if you're inside the game?
I don't. Yeah, like it's really weird. It's like then I was dead and wrote this.
And like, what the fuck was the point of all the other contestants going in and then coming out?
Yeah, like, they all thought, I'm so sorry, and they came out and waited with their arms folded. Like, why?
Couldn't this just been a story of, I don't know, you walked down an alley and then Rayman came out and threw some piss on you? You don't need all this tournament bullshit.
I don't understand why all these creepypasta writers think they're like J.R. Tolkien or something like that. And they think they can create a massive fucking universe like Lord of the Rings, like pray to it, fucking sleep Lord of the Rings and wake up. No, this is not Lord of the fucking Rings. We don't need all this fucking explanation about all this background shit that we're not going to give a fuck about. We just want to get to point A to B as fast as possible. I want to be scared somewhere in the middle. But no, none of that can ever happen. It's going to be A, fucking C, second Z, all the way fucking around backwards. And it's just shit. Oh shit. Continue. Fuck you.
Right. The next part is a little hard to describe, but I'm gonna try it anyways. It was at once the painful feeling of the flesh on my back being quickly torn open, and the relieved feeling of something that was trapped underneath cloth finally breaking free. I nearly wet myself as I heard a loud fluttering noise come from behind me. I knew only one thing that could make that noise. Wings! The sensation finally stopped, so I opened my eyes. They seemed a lot larger now, and looked at my surroundings. Everything seemed normal, except it was enormous.
Oh right, it's all enormous except massive.
I easily slipped through the ropes that once held my limbs together and immediately floated upward, courtesy of my new wings that would not stop flapping.
What the fuck is going on? Why is he suddenly wings?
Hey, listen!
What just happened? I yelled after one of the tenses. Wiped the remainder of the sticky goop off of my now tiny face. Well, actually, it was what I wanted to. It was what I wanted to yell. It came out more like blurbly ba bidari. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tensi looked at his companions, who all shrugged and shook their heads. Globox looked at me with tearful eyes once again.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
He whispered.
Go off and play. Maybe you'll get lucky and we won't find you for a while.
He pointed off into the forest. I stared for a few moments, looking back and forth from the woods to Globox, until a sudden exuberance look over my entire body, and I shot off into the woods, laughing cheerfully. Yes! Yes! I understand everything now! I was a lum! I had become a lum! And you know what? I didn't care anymore! I was a little yellow ball of energy, and boy, did I feel like a ball of energy! I whisked through the branches, giggling to myself about nothing, singing nonsense songs and chasing my fellow yellow lums around tree trunks and under rocks.
Let me just stop you right there, right?
Right?
I had become lum. I had become angry!
I have become
I
lum,
feel like
destroyer
I'm
of
a ball
worlds.
of anger, and I whiz through the branches, giggling to myself about how shit this story is.
Toby, do you want to take us home?
No, but sure. Let's go home. I was so happy, so delighted to be full of energy. I hardly noticed that our numbers are growing fewer and fewer. Until the day that I happened upon Globox carrying some rope through the woods. I watched him curiously from behind a rock for a while, because I had the strangest feeling that it was going to do something interesting. That his shoulders were slumped... Yeah, it'd be fucking first for the story, wouldn't it? His shoulders were slumped over and the sound of a sob quavered in his large throat. It does say quavered.
Quavered.
Yeah. Get back at Quavers. From out of nowhere, an RKO. From out of nowhere, a strange-looking being appeared and smashed into Globox's chest. Without even looking, Globox began to mechanically tie up this new being, as if he were performing a task he had completed thousands of times before. That's when I remembered the tournament, and Rayman 4, and the fate of all the lums would be if Polkapolocus continued to have his way. I'm not going to tell you how I got out of the Rayman world. Oh, fucking course you're not.
Because I couldn't think of it.
It's too contrived and too mental for your little tiny minds to ever comprehend or understand. That's not what it actually says, but still. In fact, that's a bit of an insult to the reader. The amount of shit he's gone on about for fucking ever, and he's not going to tell us how he got out.
All right.
Fuck you, author.
Right. No, you're missing there's like hidden bit of text. How I got out of there. Mad ninja skills, yo.
Yes, and it's an edit. Mad ninja skills. Hello. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure what I did myself.
Poop out.
I'm not even sure what this story is even been about. How did I get back to normal, you may ask? Well, I didn't.
How'd you write this?
How did you get perfectly formed arms, a keyboard, and a mouse? I have been floating around for a while. I see what we did there. Looking for some way to communicate with humans. The kind of being that I once was. Eventually, I discovered the internet.
What the fuck is the internet?
And the perfect way of being able to reach thousands of humans at once.
Yeah, you fucking wish! I can talk up to maybe 12 people.
Unless you go on like, I don't know, Justin Bieber's thing, it's go, lol Bieber shit, and then you get thousands of people. Not desirable people though, there you go. I know it's been years since I've become a lum, and that there are plenty of new games out there, new game systems out there. That's the most important fucking thing of this story. Even a new Rayman game for the Wii, whatever that is. Even though, hang on a second, he has
In the beginning of the fucking story,
Rising
you
up
knew
the
what it
balls, Let's
was.
just go. We're near the end.
Let's just grab our coats and leaves. Polocus grew tired of his golem form. Now he prefers the body of a massive sea serpent for no fucking reason whatsoever. But Polocus' hunger still continues to rage in the same way, and Rayman is still searching for a way to return the ravenous god to his former peaceful state. So I knew I had to warn everyone. If you ever find a new Rayman game on the shelf,
And it doesn't have legs.
be careful. Know what you're getting into before you play. Alas, my words must end here. Thank God. You see, lums are energy, and computers run on energy. And my story was so long that I've nearly used all of mine up writing it. Forrest.
Did it really say that?
Yeah, it does. Before I die, always keep us lums in mind. Have you ever seen a bright yellow light, but you didn't know what it was?
It was the sun!
It's a fucking street light. Now you know. It's one of us. Be kind to it. Protect us. Polycus must not know.
Oh, we're done.
We're fucking
No way!
Oh.
Post on the Creepypasta wiki, all for currently unknown. I know where I can get, this story out to the world. Creepypasta wiki. They'll believe me there. Click on the picture, expand.
There's no fucking words for that.
Oh.
Why did it go on for so long? We've been doing this for an hour and a half. It goes on for the length of an entire movie. And
We could have watched
still
a
have
movie.
No idea what the fuck
To
went
be
on.
fair, we did stick around a lot at the beginning.
Okay, Hula Hoodlum's Revenge. This was... You found this and brought it to our attention.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
I think you should get the first words and also excuses.
Well, what the fuck am I supposed to say? So he starts talking about, you know Rayman, right? Everyone knows about Rayman. He's like famous.
Of course.
He goes to a fucking tournament. He becomes a lum. He goes into the game like fucking Captain N or whatever the fuck. And then he comes out, doesn't know anything anymore, and now he wrote this.
He wrote this strain of whatever it is. Go on, Matt.
Right, so basically, it's Troll 2. If he had a grandpa who was a satanic ghost or whatever, he would have been fine. Also, I like the way computers run on energy. I'm made of energy. Then he died, and it's because you couldn't find an.
There's a lovely comment here from Lyndon Bree. Seems this was deleted off of CP Wiki. In classic CP Wiki fashion, no reason for why was given. No fucking reason was needed. I mean, just
I think it's an obvious reason.
the proof is in the reading. The fact somebody wrote that at all upsets me. Let alone that they submitted it to the Creepypasta Wiki.
The fact of the matter is, someone sat there, put their time, and they put
Read
their
the
effort
next
into it as well, and it's just fucking stupid.
And I have no idea who the author was. I don't want it killed from this site too, though.
I really wish it was.
I'll just add author is unknown unless someone finds out, I guess.
What the fuck is this? Is the next comment.
I mean, no one cares about the comments.
There's only six of
There's
them.
more comments on Creepypasta, so let's open those up and discuss them.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's there as well. But
This is going to upset me, isn't it?
These
Or
comments are
arouse
just.
you.
These comments are. Oh my god.
Okay.
I like this version of Rayman more.
you got a comment.
Oh, these them here, yeah?
Hang
Someone please fix this. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you like what you've seen here and would like to see more, then feel free to hit the subscribe button. Alternatively, you can click one of these two thumbnails up here to check out one of our other videos. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.